Welcome everyone to Review Magic, and today we're going to be reviewing Article 370, which is available on Netflix. So stay till the end of this video because we'll be sharing whether you should be watching this movie or not. Stay tuned. Alright, so here's the plot of Article 370. Article 370 has been on the minds of a lot of Indians for a very long time. In 2019, this particular article, which gave a special status to the state of Kashmir, is now abolished. So Kashmir now comes under the Indian constitution. Kashmir will no longer have a separate prime minister or a separate flag or a separate constitution. So this is a political drama, and there is unrest that is happening in 2016 where Indian government sends an agent by the name of Zuni Haksar, and that is the main protagonist, Yami Gautam. She goes to Kashmir and she is leading the effort of ensuring that this particular article is abrogated without any bloodshed happening. So she's part of the intelligence team and she's actually from Kashmir, and the story gives you a grim glimpse into what might have unfolded in order for this particular strategic move to be a reality. So when you think about the review and analysis of Article 370, the show starts with the narration of Ajay Devgan, who does a decent job in walking you through what is Article 370 and how did it get formed in the first place after the partition of Hindustan between Pakistan and India, and how did it go about giving the status to them, all the political games that were played back in those days. So that definitely is important for any person who doesn't or even knows what Article 370 is, and it is an eye-opener to start to feel that patriotic or nationalistic as to, this is something meant for you. So I thought that narration definitely sets the ground. The story has done a wonderful job in sharing you what transpired or what actually happened to make that strategic move unravel. Thinking as an end audience, whether in the US or India, you said, oh, one day Article 370 is abolished. But what happens? Because there are some very serious ramifications of this, especially for the people of Kashmir. There is insurgency from Pakistan militants, from terrorists coming. There is internal government that is corrupt. They are kind of in between India and Pakistan, and they want their own rules. So it is not an easy move that the Indian government had to play. There is pressure from media. So how did Narendra Modi, which has not been shown in this movie, how did Amit Shah, the Home Minister, how did they pull off this thing? And with Priya Mani, who is the press secretary, how did they do this majestic move? Is shown in a way that if you are a fan of India or if you love politics, you are definitely going to like it. I felt like this behind the scenes story was a moment that had to come out eventually. 2019, it's been 4 years since that happened, and slowly you're just gonna start to see that the Indian cinema is becoming more transparent, just like the US cinema, all the stuff that happens in CIA or FBI, and now you're starting to see those things happening in India too. So I'm glad that, as a movie goer, as a fan of movies, I also got to witness what happened back in that, because at every step of the way there are so many challenges here. There is a scene where Zuni Haksar, or the main protagonist Yami Gautam, she is sent by Priya Mani to ensure that there is no bloodshed. Zuni and her team uncover at least 50 different issues that might happen. There might be a strike, there may be bombing, there may be rail strike, there may be some insurgencies, there may be internet issues. So they have to come up with so many different permutation and combination. You almost can't sleep. You have to have your team on the ground, army, intelligence. There's also a scene where they show the attack that happened on the army convoy in Pulwama. So how the intelligence failed, they don't talk about it, but it's something that you see that real stuff happening here. So there's definitely a lot happening in Delhi, in the political arena, in Kashmir, and all the nuances of balancing all these things. Zuni's dad also died in Kashmir. He was kind of put through a corruption test, and all the brunt fell on his shoulders, so he committed suicide. At least that's what they were saying. That is also part of the story. So the context is definitely deep in this movie. I don't think that there is any corners that have been cut. The personas, the overall makeup, the set, the performances, and of course the storyline makes me say that this is a scientific political movie, and everything that happened is something that is beautifully shown through this movie. I mean, it's a very tricky way to get to this, and I'm glad that this drama especially was shown in a very professional way in Article 370. Now, when you talk about the direction of this, I mean, it is definitely one of a kind story. Article 370 is one thing that came in the past and now it's gone. So there's a lot of, research and planning that must have gone into it. Aditya Sohas, he's the director of the movie, and I mean, it will definitely touch Indians. It will increase their patriotism. Narration is good. The plot is unraveling. Some might even say that the Lok Sabha elections are happening, and that's when this movie has come out. Everything is timed. I don't care about it. I mean, I'm sticking to the direction, and of course, the transparency is there. The movie is definitely spooky. I mean, it's got thrill, it's got intensity, it's got drama. It's got laugh, it's got planning, it's got all the masala that you need, not for a cheesy spy drama, but it is more about a nationalist moment that is getting created, and Article 370 covers that. So direction wise, I think the story has a lot of amplification of that one topic, one subject, and what went behind the scenes to show it. I mean, at every step of the way, it was not easy in my opinion, but I thought the direction was superb. Now, when it comes to acting, I talked about this Arun Govil, who plays Narendra Modi, Yami Gautam in the main lead, Priya Mani. It's a fantastic casting, I must say. I was definitely... There's not a single actor who feels that, what are they doing there? Even when the supporting actors, the army officers, the intelligence officers, I mean, they play a very good role in trying to bind this movie and show to the public how they did fit in those characters. And to see Arun Govil in the form of Narendra Modi sitting in that conference room with the heads of defense forces, some arguing to abolish, some arguing not to abolish, and what would happen. I mean, realistically, something must like this must have happened. It's very interesting to see what would have happened. So I was definitely blown away by the acting performances by all these actors. The cinematography is great, especially, I mean, with the intensity that is going to unravel, whether it's scenes in Kashmir, Delhi, aerial shots, zoom in, zoom out, the dark blue background, the alleys of Kashmir, and then, of course, the political sets that are created to show, all the politicians, bureaucrats coming. I mean, it's a good camera work, in my opinion. Alright, so should you watch this show or not, and what is my rating? So definitely it's a patriotic film. It's going to fill you with nationalistic pride. It is also going to give you a lot of hope that the current government is, of course, in the best favor of the country. Ultimately, the story is packaged in a very good manner. You don't see some corners have been cut. It's well researched, well delivered. It's all political. So if you like all that drama, the thrill, you're definitely going to like this movie. There are definitely areas where I felt like, how come the terrorists are so strong than our actual army officers? Maybe they are, but it just feels the way the terrorists were doing their act felt like this is not something that I can believe in. So, but other than that, I think this story is a one-time watch. You can watch with your family, and for generations to know what happened, how it happened, why it happened, and where it ended. This is an important story for generations to know. So, guys, I'm going to give it 7 out of 10. And if you liked my review, please give a thumbs up. Provide your comments below or subscribe to the channel, and I will be ready for more reviews in future. So until then, take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.